Today is August the 13th, no, sorry, August the 9th, I'm running ahead, and it's very warm here in Europe, so if you're in Europe, you're suffering from the heat. If you're not, I hope you don't suffer like we do. I'm gonna say hello to who I see in the Etherpad. I see Buvana, Siam, Eduardo, Ante, Angel, and Tunde, and I also see Daniele and Arvin in the room. Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. It's been 2 weeks since we haven't had a call, but we're back. And I don't see any shout outs. Oh, there is also Kumara-san who's in the call. I don't see any shout outs, so I'm gonna pass the floor to Bhuvana, who is coming from India, and she's gonna talk about DEF Conference 2018. Hello, Bhuvana. Welcome to your school.
Thank you. Yeah, and hello everyone. If in case my audio interrupts at any time, please let me know. And yeah, so I happened to attend this DevCon 2018 here in India, and it was a 2-day session. It was held on August 4th and 5th, and it is mainly a developers meetup where all the open source contributors try to meet and give their views in there are a lot of workshops, speaker sessions, hackathons, everything going. And this time in India, they happen to conduct this DevCon later in Berlin, and it's going to happen in the Czech Republic later. So here in India, it was actually a massive event, and this is especially been organized by Red Hat. And here we had a lot of sessions. So the first day we had the keynote session by Rick Wheeler. He's a senior director of Red Hat, and he gave us about his journey throughout open source, and also how he's traveling along with Red Hat. And also on the second day, it was an event by the keynote speaker was Chris Hames, and he's a senior software engineer at Red Hat, and he also gave about a lot of thoughts on open source, and also he discussed about the issues mainly being faced in privacy and security, and that was actually great. So we also had speakers from Mozilla who represented a lot of streams and also emphasized on various projects being happening around. So we had Shivam who spoke about web extensions, and Deepesh who spoke about security in IoT, and yeah, of course, it was me who told who just gave me thoughts on WebXR. So which is like Mozilla's mixed reality. I try to give the outline on how actually Mozilla mixed reality is growing up, and how and also I showcase a few demos on WebVR, which I made through A-Frame. So we had a wonderful session, and totally there were 115 speakers being selected for these 2-day events. Like the speakers were all over the world. So then we had a Mozilla booth, which was actually which attracted a lot of audience. We had 1,000+ visitors to the particular booth, and also like there were people who showcased their demos, the demos, and also spoke a lot of points about various streams. Like it was Mr. Vishnu Prasad who told about web extensions or add-ons. He explained to the visitors about what's happening around web extensions in Mozilla, and Ram and me took turns on how WebVR works, and Mehul Viral from the Rust, and we had almost contributors, like they were, yeah, there was pretty decent women contributors in the community, like Sheena, Jyotsna, Priyanka Nag. So after the speaker sessions and the booth, we happened to have a small community meet with Prathamesh, and he told us like how to develop and the community and build it in accordance with the SF all hands which happened recently. And yeah, so it was a successful event. with 1,000+ visitors, and lot many interested to contribute to Mozilla too. And also the swags made the participants more exciting to, it made them, attract a lot. And and also they were this is completely a teamwork which made this conference success. And of course, like we happen to give our best at in representing Mozilla there. So yeah, that's it from my side.
Cool, Puvana. That seems really cool, and congratulations to the whole team for doing this. There's some questions
Thank you.
coming in. How many people
Mhm.
were attending the whole conference? Do you know?
In total, there should be around 2,000 people. Like, it was a 2-day event, so we had, like 1,000+ participants going around. But particularly to the booth in the survey made around, there were, 1,000+ people.
And how many Mozillians, give or take, were there?
We were around 50 people, in count, like Mozillians uh, in specific. We were around 50 there, and so we happened to split our work in the booth. Like only 3 were allowed at a time, so we tried to take up turns and participate. And yeah, and also a few speaker sessions, like the speakers who were selected for the final day were asked to present their sessions on. So in that case, like the speakers, there were only 3 speakers, and the rest volunteers.
Cool, very cool. Does anybody have any questions for Bufana? No? Okie dokie. Again, congratulations. I'm gonna give the floor to Daniele. He's gonna talk about the Italian Hacker Camp because also the Italian community did something amazing this week. Daniele. And he just dropped. Let me think. In the meantime, Arvin, would you like to give the council updates? Since you're here, since you made it.
But I'm not actually joining this week's council meeting because I'm in the Internet Health Reward meeting. So yeah.
Okay. Irene believes that Daniele is a better fit for this week's council meeting. Daniele is trying from his phone to enter. Apparently, WebRTC doesn't work as well for him as for other people. Are there any other people in WebRTC in this call as well? No? Daniele, is that you? Oh, I see Luis. Hello, Luis. No. I'm not sure this works. Bhuvana, are you from your video app or are you using WebRTC?
You mean the?
Are you using the application on your phone or on desktop, or are you using WebRTC to connect to video? And we're losing people. Daniele! Daniele, can you hear us? He's moving and the whole phone is moving.
Yes, yes. I can, yes.
Are you ready to give your update?
Yes.
The floor is yours.
Ah, okay, already. Okay, too fast. Sorry for the issue. Okay. What are the updates from the Italian hacker camp? Well, it was an hacking camp. It was the first time in Italy of this size. We got 650 people. and was very, very a lot for us. And as for Mozilla, we was a group of 7 people, 5 sponsored, with 8 talks during the 3 days, and we got it like 7,000 people, not thousand people, 1,000 clip recorded for Common Voice, sorry. And for us was very interesting because for the contamination of different communities there, but also people, because we from journalists, hackers, developers, uh, open source lovers, blah blah blah. So it was very interesting to see a lot of people and promote Common Voice and gather lots of feedback about improve our promotion for that. So you can find the link of my report with all the photos, and that's another report from another volunteer. This time is in Italian, the report. So that's it from that doesn't work. Okay, it's quite easy. We need to do that. And this was also the first time for this event. There was also the camp in Italy from Aki, but it was the first one very big with a lot of people, specifically with different 4 tracks of talks during the day, from the 10 a.m. to the 24 p.m. talks. So it was very, very a lot. And I lost the voice on the first day, as an example. The night I already finished the voice after 5 talks in the same day. So it was very expensive for my voice, but was very, very interesting for the community. If there are no questions, I can move to the council updates.
Sorry, I put the question on the wrong field. There you go.
Okay, there are questions. What other community were participating? Well, there was different community, like OpenSUSE was the biggest one, but there was a lot of little community specific from cities, from different meetups, and also hacking group. Because in Italy there are like 4, 6 different hacking communities based on their location. So there was a lot. You can find on the website the list of all the community, but it was very, very a lot, and for us was very interesting to meet a lot of this kind of people and chats. And so I can say only a lot because I don't remember all the communities that was there. Okay, so
Are there any questions for Daniele, who is running talking? No? Then you can go on council updates.
Okay, so for the council update, a few of us was in vacation, so there was a lot of stuff to work on because we're missing the others, and in that way I mean that we're missing the feedback from others, so because as you know we work in a group, so everyone needs to be reviewed from everyone from the council, and this can be expensive of time, especially when you don't have people, like in this case. So right now we started working since a few weeks on the OKR that are already published on the blog. You can find the link in the Etherpad. And for news of this week, we published finally the new onboarding team members. And we have from the new onboarding team, we have Robbie Seles and David Ross that are new members. And we confirmed that Team Max van der Broek and Gabriela Montagu for the onboarding team. And we have to say thanks to the previous team members that didn't apply it again. So it was Vishal Chavan and Akabru Yannick that was working in the previous round with 17 applications in 7 rounds in the last 7 months. And right now we have only 3 applications in queue to evaluate, and the new onboarding team will start to work very, very soon, also because I'm switching the leading for the reps council for the onboarding team, and now will be Manel. I will lead the onboarding. This is part also of the mission driven Mozillians to be renewable of the people, and that way everyone not is always the same person to follow specific things. So for the next round will be Manel. Now I'm helping her to do the switch because maybe you don't check it on Wiki, but there is a lot of steps and work stuff to do for following the boarding team and all the steps. So this will be the new team for the rest of the year. So remember, if you have people that want to be for you ready for the reps, apply now that we have a new onboarding team that can screen the application. And if there are any other questions?
Any questions for Daniele? Luis is happy. We don't have any open floor and questions, and I would like to invite if anybody would like to speak on the next 9 minutes. I see Luis, who is my mentee, and I'm wondering what is going on in Mexico. Luis, let us know.
Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Quick update on the Mexican community. We had the 3 weeks ago, one month ago, the Summa Sprint. Next week, we're going to have a talk in the biggest JavaScript meetup here in Mexico. I'm going to give the talk. That's pretty much. We continue the localization here in Mexico. Everyone is happy and eating taquitos. Right?
Thank you very much, Luis. Does anybody want to speak? We have an open floor for people to speak.
There was an interruption in my call, and you posted some question.
Sorry, Bhuvana, can you repeat a little bit? I didn't hear the last thing.
Yeah, there was an interruption in my call. Before that, you happened to ask me some question, right?
Oh, yes, I was asking if you were using WebRTC or how you were connecting to this call.
Oh, yeah. You mean to this particular call, or? Yeah. So I am using WebRTC, and yes.
Okay. See, Daniela, for other people it works.
I tried both, and both won't work. I'm on the mobile.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and we made the country code the other day that was working, not so much, but was working. Today it chose not to work, but you know, it's web technologies.
Okay. In case anybody else doesn't want to add anything, I will give you back 6 minutes of your lives and hope to see you all next week. Have a great evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the world.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.